All right, guys, so let's do the code on assignment for chapter 6. Now, looking at the very last exercise we did in section 3, um, it doesn't have any interactive feature in it because it doesn't have any input function. So the plot that we had um, is a scatter plot showing the relationship between miles per gallon of the cars and the weight of the cars, right? But what if we want to give our users the ability to select a variable in place of weight? So what variables um, have a strong relationship with miles per gallon, right? Gas efficiency. So let's do that. So we're going to build upon this very last exercise, right? So let's save this as app because we're going to publish this. Yes, replace it. Now, the first thing we want to do, the title, let's change that to examine or identify variables with uh, of or correlated with MPG, right? And then we need input function, right? That gives our users the ability to select a variable in place of weight. So how many variables we have in empty cars? Empty cars. So we can see the column. So this many variables, right? So empty cars, names, yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this how many? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 variables. So that what will be a good input function? So let's look at the cheat sheet, shiny cheat sheet, and we have a column on the right for inputs, right? So it could be the radio buttons, right? Like this. And it could also be select input, the drop down menu. But because there are 11 choices, the radio buttons, that's going to take too much space, right? 11 choices. So so let's go with the select input function, right? So select input function has 3 mandatory arguments here: input ID, label, and choices. And the others in smaller font size, they have default values, so you do not have to provide values for these other arguments. But we have 3 mandatory arguments, right? So here, let's put select input and then ID. So let's say variable. And for label, select a variable and then hit tab and choices. Now we need to provide this vector of column names in the dataset empty cars. So we can use the same thing here, right? So let's do this. Define a list of variables, and then let's say vector of variables, and then we can copy this, Control C and Control V, and then we can copy this and provide this for choices argument, right? So let's run it and see what it looks like. Yeah. So we got the input function. Now output doesn't react to this selected input, right? Because we still need to modify this server function, right? Um, so this weight variable here needs to vary depending on the user's choice, right? So we can do input and $sign, and what's the input ID? It's variable. It's too long. Let's say just var, right? Then let's do reload. Right, that's weird. Right? It should be a scatter plot. Oh, I see. So here, um, when you um, when the input is a variable, you need to make it very clear whether it's an environment variable or a data variable. So we're gonna learn about this topic in a later chapter. Tidy evaluation. Um, for now, just know that in Shiny, there are 2 different types of variables. One that's created by assigning symbol, that's called environment variable, and the other variable is a variable that's contained in the data set. We call that data variable. So we need to make that clear to Shiny. So the way to do that will be, and then dot data, okay, and then reload. Right? So we have an interactive app, right? So we can see the correlation between mileage per gallon and other variables, right? What type of relationship? Is it linear, non-linear, positive, or negative? Wonderful. So again, I don't think I need to show you how to publish this because you've done it in every chapter in the previous videos, right? So let's publish this and um, submit the URL on Canvas. Great, that was fun. I'll see you in the next video for the end of chapter assignment. Take care.